Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, when you're looking at the atrocities and the actions of these dragons, you get a clear vision of who the prophecies is talking about. And that's another thing. These dragons will tell you that the Bible is about stuff way in the past. And they don't tell you that people in the past was writing things about the future. People in the past was telling their people what was going to happen to them in the future for the wickedness that they was doing, or what's going to be some good things that's going to happen to them in the future. They didn't just tell, it wasn't just a book about the past. It was about what was going to happen in the future. And so, let's see what was they telling them was going to happen in the future. Because it was clear what was going to happen. And it was the prophets was coming to tell their people, y'all got a punishment coming. Because y'all living on the hog and y'all got access to the Creator. Y'all the only nation that got access to the ultimate power. And he then said y'all his firstborn. And y'all not acting like you understand that. And so you got a punishment coming. So let's see one of these punishments, how they broke it down. I'm going to start with the featured scripture and then go into who he talking about. Okay, let's see here. Salaki, I'm in the wrong book. Ezekiel. Alright, it says, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy cities shall be defiled. So these people was going off on a high level, and the Lord had a punishment coming for them. They had a major punishment coming for this nation. And so he said he going to get the worst of the heathen. Now, let's establish who he talking about. Now, I'll get Malachi. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Well, starting at 3, it say, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished. See, when the Israelites was ruling, these dragons was in a cave somewhere. In Petra, living in a darn mountain. It didn't say, we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them, the whole nation, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So this was going to be the border of wickedness, though wicked, the nation of Edom. So when you go to Lamentations chapter 4. Let me get verse 21. It say, Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The daughter of Edom that dwelleth in the land of Uz. Okay, so when we go to Job 1:1, it say, This man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright. So he was perfect. Only the Israelites is called perfect. See? And so these dragons here, let's get Job. He say the worst of the heathen he gonna bring to you. Job 30. See, Job was in the land of the Edomites. He said, but now they are younger than I. No, he said, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. See, he didn't want them people with his dogs, because we know the so-called Edomites, the so-called white man, the slave master. He'll go in the barn and hump on a chicken, on a goat, hump on a pig. He'll hump on anything, man. And especially a dog. He'll lay down with a dog. They got laws in America where you can marry your dog and marry your freaking animal. All over America and all of the states, I think. Now in verse 5 it say, they were driven forth from among men. See, the real men in the other nation, they wasn't dealing with these dragons, because they was the worst of the heathen. They cried after them as after a thief, because see, they was a thief. They were the main thieves. They was vagabonds hiding around, coming and stealing people's stuff. They come and stole King David's family, the Edomites. Verse 8, he say they were children of fools, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. See, this is the worst of the heathen. It was a nation that was the worst. Out of all the heathen, this nation was the worst. Now let's get Salakia. Get Daniel 4:17. He said they were children of fools. They was base men, the most viler than the earth. Look at this base man situation, because he say y'all being wicked. I'm gonna go get the worst of the heathen on y'all. 17, it said this is the matter. No, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the Holy One, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So the Most High is the ruler, and he giveth it to whosoever he will, and set it up over it the bases of men. See, he went and say, I'm going to go get the worst of the heathen, the base of men, and I'm going to set them up over you, man. Okay, let's get Luke. Let me go to Luke. Luke 4:7. What did he say? Let's see here. Verse 6. He said, and the devil said unto him, all this power will I give to you, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whosoever I will I give it. See, he set the devil up over the children of Israel, the worst of the heathen. That's who the devil is. That's who the devil is. Okay, let me get 2 and 5. Habakkuk and Obadiah is all about the Edomites. See verse 3, Teman. That's one of the head tribes of Esau. So when he talking right here, he is talking about an Edomite. Let me start at verse 4. All the Edomites. It say, but his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. See, the man whole operation is just terrible. Verse 5, it said, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. See, that's the United States of America. And all the so-called European nations. They got a major migration problem, and the people flocking to their countries because they living rich on the hog due to their blessing. And due to them stealing everything by the sword. That's why in verse 8 it say, because thou hast spoiled many nations. See, they done went in there and stole people's stuff. It say, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. See, they running around the earth. Let me go to Obadiah, because both of these books written at the same time. These people going to folks' country, stealing. Verse 5, it say, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? See, the Most High searching these dragons out. See, they ain't never teach nobody. They not going to tell nobody this stuff. This stuff is hidden. These things are hidden, and they will never tell it. Now, Jeremiah gave the same breakdown of these dragons. You got Obadiah, Habakkuk, and Jeremiah dedicated, or the end of Jeremiah, dedicated to these freaking Edomites. Verse 10. See, the worst of the heathen. But I have made Esau bare, and I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, meaning his children, his bloodline is going to be spoiled. They're going to be just like him. His brethren, his neighbors, and he is not going to be able to hide himself. See, these dragons is going to get exposed, and they being exposed as the worst of the heathen, and that he sent towards his people. Deuteronomy, let me get it real quick. Deuteronomy 28:49. Look how he described who he sent to punish his people. This is the punishments of the Israelites. In Deuteronomy 28:15 down. He say, the Lord shall send a nation against thee from afar. See, them the Edomites. From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies. When you go to Edom, it's an eagle representing Edom and Petra. It's an eagle representing them. They always represented by the eagle. Turn on the back of the dollar, you got an eagle. Go to France, Germany, all these places, Russia, they got an eagle sitting up there, staring you in the face. Now this is how the quality of the heathen that he's sending to the nation of Israel. Verse 50, a nation of fierce continent. See, the worst of the heathen, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. See, they not gonna care that you got a young child. They finna mow him down and you down, rape you, kill him. See, this is the worst of the heathen, these dragons. And there he raised them up and set them up over the kingdom, the bases of men. He set the worst of the heathen over the kingdom, the devil. And they can give power to whoever they want to give power to, because they gonna be this their kingdom. See, they can put a Hamite as president, give him some power and money, and make him think he doing something. But at the end of the day, it's they in power. They can put the president, they can put a Hamite Obama up there talking about you the most powerfulest man in the world. You a lie. See, that's a lie that they tell. They got elites, dragons hiding behind the duck in the hiding behind the curtain. See, that's why I say he should not be able to hide himself, because that's what he gonna try to do his darndest to do. How are his hitting things sought out? See, his hitting things, meaning this nigga hiding, man. This Negro is hiding. And he the one that's black. He the one that's a black demon. See, that's why he called him the worst of the heathen. I'm gonna go get the worst of the heathen for you so-called children of the power, prince of the power, Yasharala. I'm gonna go get the worst of the heathen for y'all. Y'all don't want to follow my law, and y'all don't want to appreciate the stuff that I'm doing for you. Let's see what happens when I send the worst of the heathen to you. Let's see who you go crying for then. But I'm gonna leave it there. He gonna reverse. Let's get their punishment real quick, cause I think they just gonna get off of it. Oh, he sent us, okay, we gonna get him. No, it ain't just that simple. Revelation 13 tell you about these two, pretty much the dragons that colonize the world. The main two dragons, they all the same. Verse 10 say, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. See, the faith of the saints is these dragons that's running through him, that God sicked on us, we gonna get them. See, because he was just using them, and now he finna throw them to the trash and use them back in a different way now. First he used them to punish us, but now he gonna use them to build our kingdom and to be our slaves. So they gonna have a good time being a servant, because that's what they supposed to be in the first place. They were the worst of the heathen. They wasn't even the best. They the worst, man. The worst of the worst. The base at the bottom. But the nation of Israel the base now, so you see how he do things. He get the base people. Cause see, right now ain't nothing worse than a ignorant black, Hispanic, or Native American. Ain't nothing worse than that, who think they free when they are dirty slaves. They got no military, got no money. The poorest, dirty slave, and they think they free in somebody. You know, in that mentality. Ain't nothing worse than that. So that's how he do things. He gonna raise the Israelites up, and it's gonna shock all these people. Let's get that. He gonna raise them up literally too. Revelation 11 and 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. See, this is gonna scare the heck out of people, man. When they see these so-called Negroes who's running around here acting ignorant, and they see them ascend up to heaven, it's gonna blow their mind that this is who God is dealing with. Because it blew our mind that they're dealing with the worst of the heathen. These red dragons, hairy, stink. It blew our mind. We saw this who he's gonna put up over us. This man, these albinos, a nation full of albinos. That's the most craziest thing in the world. But this is how he get down. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect. The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, descendants of slaves, or scattered around the globe. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.